What is up? Now, the thumbnail for this video, my mom actually has a painting of. Or at least she used to. I don't know if she still does or not, but back in the day, my cousin would come over and he would often be like, is that being brave or is that being stupid? I have to say that's being stupid. Like, just in case you didn't see the thumbnail of this video before clicking on the damn thing, let me explain what's going on. So, it's at an ocean and there's this big ass kraken, or octopus, whatever. It's bigger than freaking a whale, and there's this little girl with her arms out standing right not that far away from it. So, is she being fearless? Definitely. But is she being smart, though? Definitely not. What is the difference between being brave and being stupid? Like, okay. Well, first and foremost, what can you do to be brave? Well, being brave is not really something that you get to choose when it comes. Being brave just automatically comes to you. We all know that scene from The Lion King where Mufasa's like... Sorry. Oh, come on. Okay, that's better. We all know that scene where Mufasa's like, I'm only brave when I have to be. And he's also like, being brave doesn't mean you go looking for trouble. He is correct. That is so true. But that doesn't mean you can't conquer your fears and try to tackle them. Like, what if you want to see a horror movie or something? And you want to overcome that fear? Well, is that being brave? Like, would that be considered being brave? I mean, you don't get physically harmed by doing that, by watching a horror movie. It just scares you. So, I don't know. It's so confusing. And by the way, today's horror movies are crap, probably because of the lack of... Well, back then in the day, there was so much less technology and... just the fact that we're able to do so much more now and make things more realistic kind of defeats the purpose of horror movies. Everything's gotten brighter, and the whole point of a horror movie is that's supposed to be dark and you can't see much. But now that with today's modern technology and everything's gotten newer, it defeats the purpose. But that's not the point. Now, I forgot what I was going to say. Crap, man. As usual. There are actually different kinds of fear. First of all, there's embarrassment fear. Like, for example, one time at school, I thought I saw my grandmother's car when it was time to leave or something. And so I opened it and it turned out to be some other kid's car. That felt awful. You do not know what I felt. I mean, maybe you do. But you know what? It was still a horrible experience. The people in the car didn't say anything. They just looked at me. But that didn't... You can tell it was pretty freaking embarrassing. And then there's the kind of fear where somebody is chasing after you with a knife or something. That's not embarrassment. That's freaking horror. So, with all these different kinds of fears and different ways of being brave, it gets confusing. And where do we draw the line? Now, let me tell you a story. And this is one of the most brave moments I've had in my life. So the very day before Behemoth Blogmaster aired, our alarm went off. And, well, I didn't know how to turn it off. I do now. I don't even think it's set up correctly anymore, but that's not the point. The point being that the alarm went off, and then know the code to turn it off, and the police showed up at our front door. Now, I was the only one there. So you can imagine, this is kind of spooky. I opened the door, and there was the guy was like, asked me some questions, and I felt like I didn't do too great a job of answering them, but I tried my best, and he was actually a pretty nice guy, and he seemed to understand that everything was just a misunderstanding, and eventually my mom was called on the phone, and she was able to explain everything that's going on, and he just left after that. He asked me how old I was and what my name was and stuff like that, the basic stuff. So look, that was definitely a brave moment. I was not expecting that to happen. If you're expecting it to happen, and you're not really being that brave. But I definitely gained something out of that, and actually, in the long run, I'm kind of glad that happened, because now I can look back and see how much I'm just glad to have gotten it over with, okay? That was definitely a brave moment. And that wasn't the only time I've talked to an officer before. One time, when my grandmother was going into Sonic to get me a shake, we got hit by our car got hit on the side a little bit. Like somebody slammed into our car, and it was on my side, and you can imagine, I was freaking scared crapless. Our car was not that badly damaged. Their car, on the other hand, was messed up as crap. So the police woman this time, the other time it was a man, but the police woman asked me a few questions and answered them the best I could, but my grandmother was there to be with me. But this time around, the day before Behemoth Longmaster, I was the only one. So it's a pretty big difference. Well, guys, don't be dumb, but be brave, be fearless, which is basically the opposite of being brave, or being scared, sorry. Being brave means that you're scared, basically, or most of the time it does, because people do things because they're scared, but they're being brave because they're trying to conquer that fear. Because you all know that feeling of going off the diving board that's like 50 feet above, well, I don't know about 50 feet, but it's pretty high up, and it's like there's a physical barrier that's keeping you from jumping off. Nothing's keeping you from jumping off physically, it's just that fear inside of you that's keeping you from doing it, and then you just turn around and go back down the ladder. Come on, we can do better than that. There's lots of things that I'm afraid of, and you know what? We're all scared of something. It's nothing to be ashamed of. We don't have to conquer all of our fears. I mean, there's always going to be something we're going to be scared of in life, but you know what? I think we can do pretty good. I don't even know what I'm saying right now. You guys are brave, okay? You're brave. You have guts. You know what to do. So I will see you guys in the next episode. Goodbye.